Give me one moment. We are back for another episode of Behind the Highlight Reels. And y'all know I have to check my technology because technology does not become my best friend at times. So if you can see me, if you can hear me, go ahead and hit a little heart button. Let me know. Put in the comments, hey, I can hear you. And while you guys are catching up and hopping on, let me give you guys a little bit of time to share. Okay, so y'all, that 30 seconds be quick. Let me make sure my thing was able to share. Okay, so I'm on there. Looks like I'm sharing. So for the new people who do not know me, my name is Theresa. I am a certified life coach and business coach, and I help people to do small business and organize their lives and their relationships and their businesses. And I created this show, Behind the Highlight Reels, for people to see really what happens behind all the beautiful Facebook messages and Facebook posts and highlight reels of people's lives that we see on social media or on their website. We see all the beautiful things in life, but we don't see what happens behind those highlight reels. So I created this show so that we can actually see, like, for real, transparently, what happens behind those highlight reels and get to learn those life lessons that they've learned and they've had to go through. Because I truly believe, and if you know me, you know I'm very transparent, 1,000% real. I truly believe that if we can share our transparent truth and what happens in our experiences, we can allow someone else to learn from our mistakes and not make the same mistakes. So that's what this show is all about. And today we have a phenomenal guest. Her name is Terra Cartina. I'm super, super excited to have her here. She is amazing. Hello, Jennifer, one of my biggest fans. But Tara is amazing, y'all. So I met this young lady before I give you guys her bio. I met this young lady. She was a student in my fire fear class. I have this class that also teaches you how to fire fear correctly and how to move on in your greatness in life without thinking about the turmoils and the issues that fear brings, right? And so she signed up for this class. And when I say she brought it to the class, laid it all out on the table, I absolutely adored her working experience, just everything about what she was doing in this class. She was ready to get moving and fire her fear. And honey, she did just that, okay? So Tara, she is a emotional health coach. Now, especially at a time like this, our emotions are up in the air. There's so much going on, especially for this country, this culture, us women. And so she's an emotional health coach and she helps people with that. She has a goal to help families to conquer life's challenges by providing strategies and tools to help us live emotionally healthy lives. And she doesn't only just talk about what it means to be emotionally healthy. She gives us strategies and tools. And let's be honest. You can't do anything if you don't have strategies and tools. So if you got a coach, any type of coach that's not trying to give you some strategies and not trying to give you tools to make it, you need to exit stage left, okay? She has 23 years in different roles as an early childhood educator. Woo, I already know that's enough right there. She is a certified life coach for children and a ministry director, okay? She has seen children and family in multiple aspects of their lives. So she's very well versed to help a lot of different people in a lot of different stages in their lives. She realized that within communities and people, period, we put a lot of emphasis on academics, on job achievements, on sports performance and things like that, but we don't take care of our emotional health and needs. So she created a business that is going to do, or that is doing just that. She created Terra Cartina LLC, and she does a lot of consultations and consultings in businesses for children and for adults. She trains, she assists, and she helps the parents to get their children together, but she also helps the parents to get themselves together. And not only the people who have children, but she helps adults in general. All right. So it sounds to me like she can help everybody with their emotional health. All right. I'm going to bring to you Terra Cartina.
Hello,
Hey, Terra.
hello. Hello, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, Theresa.
You are welcome, ma'am. Okay, so I am super, super, super excited to have you. I went, first of all, when you were in class and just the work that you were doing, all of the effort that you put into firing your fear, it made me want to know more about you. And so I was like, let me see what this girl is. And everybody that knows me, all of my students know I go and stalk y'all's pages, your businesses, and I'm like, you doing what we talked about? Let me see. Girl, this amazing. You are amazing. She has this, and I have to just tell you guys, she has this what is it called on Fridays? Um what is the name of it? I can't remember
You
the
know, I
official.
changed it every Friday. Today was a Fresh Start Friday, so
Right, because
I
I'm like Fabulous
think
Friday, and I'm like that. I think that was last time, but every Friday she goes live and gives us life. Like literally, I try to make sure that I am up watching her, and even if I'm at work, I got her playing because she gives us amazing tips every single Friday about things that we can do, small things that we can do to make big changes in our emotional health life. So thank you, girl, for even doing that. I'm just amazed at all that you are doing. Okay.
well, I think they should thank you because that was one of my goals out of Fire Fear was to be able to do Facebook Lives, and so I fired that fear.
Girl, you out here like a pro, okay? Oh, thank you. Now, so I just read this amazing bio, right? And you're talking about all this emotional health stuff. I know for someone to be an expert and a coach in it, then you have to have gone through your own story. Give us a little bit about your story with emotional health and how you got to this point where you're like, let me help somebody else.
Yes. Well, I have to say that it started as a kid. I didn't know I had been battling with dealing with my emotional health, since a kid, but now I know. So it started off as the fact was I was raised in a single parent home, and my mom was phenomenal in the fact that, she was making sure she gave me the best I could have in life. Well,
Mhm.
with that came some sacrifices, right? And
Yeah.
so we moved a lot because when she got a better job, we moved to a better neighborhood. Praise God for that, right? But
Yeah.
what happened behind the scenes, look, behind those highlights was I was the new girl all the time. And so being the new
Mhm.
girl, I was hated by the girls and harassed by the guys. And so for an introvert person to be in school, I got bullied a lot. I was quiet in school. I'm loud with my family, but behind the scenes, I was quiet, and so it was having to deal with that. But we're in a culture where we are have when you're a single parent, you got to be come from a single parent home.
Mhm.
You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be able to take things. But I had a hard time dealing. I had a hard time dealing, and I began to suppress those emotions. And so from that, I developed low self esteem, which caused me to be in toxic friendships,
Oh yeah.
toxic relationships. I wasn't as assertive to speak up for my own rights, and so that caused things to happen in my life, from assault, from just different things that I dealt with. And so I just continued to suppress those things. And so out of that, I developed the thing where I started it started affecting my health, you
Oh
know
yeah.
health issues, because I'm suppressing everything that's going on the inside of me, right? And so I became a teen mom. Okay, so that was the next thing that happened. So, of course, you don't know that these things are like domino effects, but they are. So, when I
Yeah.
became a teen mom at 18, right? And then the next thing I knew, I was a military spouse, okay,
Wow.
with four kids in another country, away
That's
from.
emotional right there.
Yeah. So it was just a whole bunch of piled on things that happened, in my life that I went through, and I never addressed those emotional issues, right? And so they started coming out. I'm an adult now, right? And so they started coming out in negative ways and affected my life. But this was the turner for me. I started noticing it in my kids. And
Wow.
that was enough for me to see that they were suppressing things, that they were not handling. The military life is hard. It's hard moving every 2 to 3 years. It's hard not having no roots whatsoever. And it's even harder to be away from your family support system. And so when I started recognizing it in them, I said, you know what? I got to do something. And so I started with myself. And so as I went along and I started that journey of getting myself emotionally healthy, which at that time I thought was just mentally healthy. So
Mhm.
seek counseling. I got to do something for me in order to help them. And so that started my journey. That is, the history that I came from. And, like I said, you understand the culture that we come from. That's
Yes.
we were not taught. So I can't expect my mom to teach me something that she wasn't taught in her, culture. And so, or the adults around me. And so that's why I said, you know what? I got to start with me, and then I got to start with the kids. And at that time, I was starting in early childhood. So I said, you know what? All the kids about to get this.
Listen, I definitely understand. I used to be a teacher. I started with working in daycare, and at the daycare center that I worked for, we had a lot of kids that were there that were in DHS in these programs where they have been abused. Some of them have been molested. Some of them have been beaten. Some of them have been lost. Just all these situations, and had a lot of diseases and
Yes, I think like being in that setting, we never know what has happened to a child. But guess what?
right.
The classroom that I felt like my administrators were just picking me to get. I would say, you always give me a fab five that I have to go through, right? But I didn't know it was training ground because I would get all the kids with the top behavior problems. But
Yes.
compassion for them because I never think, and I feel that way about adults too. When
Yeah.
people act out, it's a reason they're acting out, right? And I believe that the saying is true that it is a lot of time hurt people because they
Mhm.
don't know how to manage, or they don't understand their emotions, they don't know how to manage them, so they don't have healthy responses.
Yes, that is so true. I Listen, that is, I think it's important for us to realize a lot of things that's going on is not just out of nowhere. Kids are not just acting up. And I had the same experience as you where I was getting the kids that was now I'm chasing a child literally down the street because they done ran out the playground. That type of situation. And I always used to hate to say like, oh, kids are bad or this child is bad. No, it's not that a child is bad. It's that there's something going on and they don't realize what they're doing. So their acting up spells are not just acting up, but it's their emotions taking toll because they're not able to express something right now. And I think it's so important, like you said, even as adults, we do the same thing. There's so
Yeah.
many times just this week I flipped like about something and then I had to go back and think about it like why was you so upset? Like what is really going on? What is the root of this issue? Because what you flipped about wasn't even that serious. Like is are you PMSing? What is going on? So I had to take that emotional health situation under control. Tell me about some of the steps that you took. I know you said about you. I think you said you went to counseling or therapy. Like, how did that go? Because this community, we're getting to a place where therapy is okay for Black people. And but some people still feel like you crazy. I ain't going to therapy. I'm going to church. And tell me about your experience with going to therapy, how that started. And how did you talk about like your friends? Like, did you tell them? Was it a secret? How was all that going down?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a secret. I didn't tell anybody. I made my appointments, but I knew it was beyond my capabilities. Now that's something I did know. Some people don't know. Some people think that they can handle it, and so I just sought to go on my own, and I it was hard because I was fighting me. It was me fighting me. So she would tell me something to do, and I was like, I ain't gonna do that. I don't know. And she understand. I could be very stubborn at times, so, but it was just me fighting me. And so sometimes she would give me this packet of homework, and I'm gonna tell you, I would do the packet like 30 minutes before it's time to go back to the session, right? Then when we get in the session and go over it, I'm like, man, I should have did that a week. I was like, Tara, you're fighting your own self and your own health. And it's because I just was taught to be strong. Like you can
Yeah,
with this. And so I was fighting that mentality and I didn't have anybody to talk to about it because none of my friends really believed in it. And then on top of that, I'm in ministry. Okay, I'm in ministry. And so, just recently the church agrees with, the community that we should get mental health on top of spiritual health. And so I initially just tried it that way, just tried to do the spiritual health. But to be honest with you, at the time, the information that I had, I wasn't applying it the right way. You get what I'm saying? And so putting the two together helped me.
yeah.
But it was a secret, and I'm gonna tell you, it was a battle. But the battle wasn't with the community; it was me battling me.
Listen, your story sounds like me. When I started therapy, I was initially like, it took me so long. Somebody was like, well, maybe you should. I was like, I ain't got nothing to uncover. I done uncovered everything. I know what's going on with me. Okay. I don't need no help. I'm not crazy. And then it got to a point where, like, I literally, when I say the Lord had to regulate my mind, those old hymns and scriptures that you have your
Mhm.
grandparents singing about how God is a mind regulator and He will keep your mind, I had to have my own experience like that. And I was
Mhm.
like, Lord, I am like literally I can't. Somebody gonna die, and then I'm gonna be in jail, and we know I can't just sit in one place. Like that's not gonna work for me. So I was like, okay, let me try. Let me just try therapy. And even on my first time, I remember they were like, "Do you want a man or a woman?" And I was like, first of all, when I was looking for therapists, I was like, I need a Christian. I need somebody that know the Lord. Okay. And so then they were like, "Do you want a man or a woman?" And so I had a man, and the whole time, because I don't want to seem weak,
Mhm.
okay, the whole time I'm like, yeah, everything is fine. I'm good. Yep. And I felt like I had to take it upon myself to get like a woman who I don't know, I could just be a little bit more vulnerable with, and I don't have to put on this I'm strong all the time because I'm always the strong one. And I will say this, with therapy and a therapist that also leads you back to God, and when you have God that's also confirming things through therapy, it all works together. It all works together, and I'm so like one of the best things I've done. So I'm glad that you share your truth in that because I, like you, I felt like I probably was fighting myself. Not probably, I was.
Mhm.
So I did the same thing with the homework. I mean, it's just so funny how we do. But when we in it though, we don't we don't see these things. But
It was
when we
so
out on the other side, you like, I don't even know. I just wasted time.
wasted time. Wasted. You know what was good about my counselor? She was a Christian counselor also, but
Mhm.
and she called me on my stuff. I
Yeah.
because I didn't really have somebody in my life like that really at the time. Adult, I'm gonna say adult.
Mhm.
Child is like that, but an adult. But she really just called me on my stuff, and I was like, Tara, you gonna get what you paying for out of this, okay?
Hot girl, my it got to a point. Sometimes I'm like, man, she about to be fired because Girl, it is so funny. We are funny people. I can only imagine how the Lord be looking at us like, daughter, what is you doing?
Yes.
So, okay, tell us a little bit about how you took those experiences with therapy, with the steps that you started, and how you created these strategies now that you help other people to do the same thing.
Well, the title of our show today is putting your emotional health jacket on, and that's exactly what I had to do. Is I number one, I had to stop suffering in silence. That was the thing.
Yes.
I suffered in silence over a majority of my life, by keeping the things to myself, by not, speaking up when I should and could.
Mm,
It's not that I couldn't. You can. You have somebody that you can reach out to. And so I had to stop suffering in silence. So rather that was, some people need some time to do it. So they need to journal it first to themselves. And some people are, find it hard to confront other people about their things or how they feel. So maybe you need to write a letter, or in this age, you need to write an email. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
you have to tell somebody. You have to tell somebody your truth in order to be free, of the bondage of the truth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to let it out. So that was the first thing that I had to stop suffering in silence. The second thing was I had to get more assertive about the things that I needed. You know what I mean? So if you're that type of person that you're always giving and doing and giving and doing, your needs always on the back burner, right? And so I had to stop doing that and get more assertive and say, you know what? No, I need this. This is what I desire. This is what I need to be healthy. Okay, you know what? I need this toxic person to go. I need this toxic thing to go. You know,
Mhm.
you
Yes.
can't keep it. So I had to get more assertive. And I will say it was a challenge because it wasn't naturally my personality at the time, right? And so you just have to get more assertive. You need to sit down and figure out, you know what, this is what I need to be healthy here. This is what I need to go forward here. Even attending your class was a form of me being more assertive. You know what? I need this. I need this training. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I had to start celebrating myself. And so that's what I enjoy about the lives is I'm teaching people how to build their own confidence and celebrate their self. One of the lives I talked about, you need to schedule joy time. And so whatever is in your schedule full with things that you do throughout the day for your job, for your business, for people. What about you? So schedule that joy time, right? Build your own, confidence in who you are. Today we talked about it. We don't even like to take compliments because we be like, no, 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 that's too much. What's too much? I'm wonderfully created. So
Yes.
much because I know that I'm special. My own fingerprints are different, right? So you have to get in the practice of celebrating yourself and not think it's gloating or is, you just, doing too much of being arrogant. It's not. It's you celebrating yourself, enjoying yourself. I take my own self out. If I want to go somewhere, I do not wait on anybody.
Yes.
So those are the things that I had to begin to do. And I'm gonna tell you, I got friends to this day. Yo, I'm not going out to eat by myself. I was like, oh, you don't enjoy your own self? I enjoy my company.
Right. Listen, you are preaching to the choir. When I first moved down to Alabama, I didn't have no friends. And I had a cousin that was here and his kids, right? And his little kids, the young kids. And my cousin was military, so he's gone all the time. And he's from a different generation. He's older than me. We don't even like we ain't on the same page with certain stuff. And so I was like, okay, Tharissa, you gonna sit in this house or you gonna go out? And I was like, if I didn't do anything, I literally because before then I was like, I'll never go like your friends. I ain't going by myself nowhere. Girl, every Tuesday I was at the movies. Every
Yeah.
Tuesday. And I enjoyed that time. I did not have to ask anybody to go with me. I didn't have to wait on somebody to get dressed. I didn't have to wait on somebody to pick me up or somebody to think, oh, never mind, I don't want to go. I got up and go. And y'all, that is one of the most rewarding things that you can do is go somewhere and enjoy time with yourself, something by yourself. That don't mean that you leaving your husband or your kids or neglecting anybody, but you are not taking that time is neglecting you. And so
Mhm.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. And even when I seen your live and I was hearing you talk about it, I was like, listen, we are so like in tune. God has divine connections for this reason, because that's one of the things, as you know, that we talked about in class. So to hear you still, showing people the same thing, we're talking about the same stuff. Fire and fear, emotional health, all of this, even business. You can't be successful in life, in business, in any relationship, unless you get yourself together.
Mhm.
So I was like, let me make sure she on this show, because I think it's imperative that we don't look at all the highlight reels and become emotionally unhealthy, because you can, with comparing yourself. You can forget to celebrate those little things. So I absolutely love the concept of scheduling joy. Like, that was something I was like, and for me, my name is Joy. My nickname is Joy. My family all call me Joy. So when I hear that, I'm like, no, scheduling joy, not just in the concept that you said it, but scheduling that time for me, like joy. So I am super excited, y'all. And if you have not checked out any of her Friday live videos, go to her page, not now, but when we get finished, and look at some of the replays, because they are amazing. Will have you starting your day off right, okay? So tell me a little bit, since we're talking about your Friday videos, tell me a little bit what made you want to like start these series and videos.
Well, the thing was, is I realized that because, like I said, our culture doesn't really know a lot about emotional health. We're getting to know mental health, but we
Yeah,
don't understand that our emotional health goes along with our mental health, which helps our physical health. They
yeah.
all together, and one without the other, there's a lack somewhere. And so I said, well, I need to bring awareness to it. And I was coaching one of my students, and I was realizing, even though I was coaching the kid, that the adult in their life needed some emotional health help.
Mhm.
And so because of that, I said, well, I just got to reach out to that community because I'm in the community with the kids. I know many parents because I was teaching and because I'm a ministry director. And so I'm already connected in that area. But I felt like the adults in the life have to get it too. And so I
Yeah.
started the series because I just feel like it's information we need to know. So I try to not only give the tip, but I give the science behind it so they'll know that it's true science behind us investing in our emotional health and that it affects every part of our life. And so I just wanted to our community to get the information. I really did. And so that's why I started the live. But I had to conquer something in myself before that. But still, it's been worth it. I love connecting with the people. I love, that God drops things in my spirit to talk about that week, and that
Mhm.
it's always meaningful and gives value to somebody. And so as we are building our emotional health, we're going to go out and share that with other people and build up the community and people that we know in those same things. Because I know you're sharing them. And so that's what I wanted to do. That's the reason why I did it.
So I love that you said that God drops things in your spirit that's always beneficial to somebody. I experience that with all of my stuff, like everything that I do, even when there may be like one person that's paying attention or that I think is paying attention, because we got these lurkers that just be looking, that don't be like liking or sharing or whatever. But I'll have one person that I think is paying attention, and I'll be like, oh, it was a fail. It didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. I thought this was gonna pop, and it will be so helpful because I'll get an inbox, a DM. I constantly get people DMing me or inboxing me to tell me how something I said helped, or something I shared helped, or something that even somebody else's video that I shared of somebody. Like, I've had someone that told me, "Hey, you shared somebody else's video this morning, and that was exactly what I needed." God is so amazing, like beyond words, so amazing that He would give us this insight, and for us to take on that and do it is helping somebody else that we don't know. So I love that you actually take what he says and still share, because that's something that I work with my students on. fire and fear. Whatever you're slack on doing, you're scared to do. Guess what? Your words, what you have, is supposed to release somebody, and
Right.
because you're scared to do it, somebody's still locked up in bondage.
Right.
So I'm so appreciative that you mentioned that. And so can you give us a little bit of how you and not too much, but how you connect with the parents so that they can connect with their children?
Well, I like to teach. I like to find out what the parents are, first
Mhm.
of all, and based off of why they come to me, about the child. I always have to do a interview with them first. You know what I mean? Because it might not be the child. It may be the child's reaction to something that the parent is doing. But I think parents don't always know that, and
Yeah,
I know that parents are usually defensive about their parenting style. And so, what you want to do is find for them what they want to see happen. And then I set up the strategies and tools to see, to help them see that happen. Right.
yeah,
So, we always have to think of put the mask on first. And so, when I come at it that way, we're putting the mask on first so that our children can be successful. They get it, they get it from that. And so, but usually, parents come and they want to control behaviors, right? They don't. But like I said, I have to let them understand that behaviors come from somewhere. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It is stimulated from somewhere. It's triggered from somewhere. And so when you come from that point of view, you're able to do that. You're able to connect the two, right? Because at the end, I just want them communicating and loving on each other.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, even exchange. Like, I want the child to be happy that the parent is coming out like, oh man, here come the parent. You know what I'm saying? But I want them communicating and loving on each other equally. You know what I mean? And showing
yeah,
each other that we can communicate, we can get along. I hate when I hear, oh, I don't like talking to my parent or my child gets on my nerve, like I don't get along. Oh, I just cringe on that because man, it's such a blessing to have kids. It's such a blessing to be a parent, but not just a parent, but to be an influencer over a child's
yeah.
life. Any influencer, it's a blessing. And so we want you guys to be able to communicate and be able to love on each other. So that's the approach that I go.
I absolutely love that. And that I think that people see your heart. Like even when I'm watching your videos, it feels so genuine. People can tell when somebody's being fake. It feels so genuine that you are like wanting people. This is something you want for people to do. You want them to be successful in life through their emotional health. So I absolutely love bringing people on my show, period, that are genuine and are 1,000% real, but that can be transparent about, hey, I'm not perfect. I've gone through my own things, but I guess what? I have something for you, and I want you to be better than me, not stay lower than me because I'm scared you can be better. But no, I want you to be better than me. I want you to have better. So I absolutely adore everything you are doing. I'm super excited about the Fridays, and I think I missed it this morning because I girl got up late and was doing a lot of stuff. But I'm like, okay, if I don't do nothing, I have to make sure I go on there and see these videos because they are definitely worth it. Um, and so tell us, because one thing that I do like when I am watching videos, you have a village that supports you, but also comes because they are getting something from it. I think you said your mom is on there and your daughter. That's three whole generations on there. How did they feel about like you starting this and being so open and transparent and helping people? Like, how did they feel?
I think my mom was already used to it because I do it in ministry.
Hmm.
Daughter knew that it was a challenge for me to go live. She knew it was a fear thing, and she always encourages me. You got to get out this stuff that you given to us. You know what I'm saying? And so they were just encouraging, and I love seeing them on there. They brighten my day. So I like to see that support, and just the fact that they sharing it with their generation. So
Hmm.
I got multiple generations
Yes.
on the live with me, and I love it. So that means to me that, you know, everybody's finding value in it, right? And so even at, your older age, you're finding value that it can work for you now. Even at my youngest baby is a millennial. Even at that age, you're finding value that you can share with somebody else. So just think about the effect that that is going to cause. You know what I mean? Because you get stuff, and I don't know about you guys, but if I hear something good, man, I tell everybody I know.
Yes.
Kids in my life, it could be the, adults in my life, young or old, I'll tell everybody about it. So I just, look forward to the day when they're saying, listen, I saw Tara today. She talked about building your confidence, and this is what you could do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Telling that to your child, your grandchild. That's what I want to see, because I want it to resonate to
Yeah.
everybody. You know what I mean? And so they're so encouraging. And you just said, one of my scriptures is, "You will do greater works." Ooh, you just set me on fire with that. And that's what I think about my daughter. I'm sharing something with her. I'm letting her know that I'm conquering the things and deficiencies that I thought I had. So
Yeah.
you're gonna do greater and better things, and you're gonna have more confidence, and you're gonna be more equipped with emotional health to do it. Because at the end of the day, to me, I can say all the things that emotional health does, but it creates a happier life. And I don't know about you, we need happiness right now. We need hope, and
Yeah.
it does for anybody who's able to partake in it.
And I love the way you said because it also creates a happier life within, and I don't want to use this word, but a bubble, right? Like
Mhm.
even through the turmoil, the trials, the foolishness, you still have peace and you still have that happiness because you are emotionally equipped to handle what's going on. And I absolutely love, and that's why I said I love to see those different generations, because I remember like when I first started ministry as a deacon at my old church, I was like, Lord, that is what you mean, deacon. But they it literally was just like a servant, as the Bible says in Acts. And some of the people that I was praying over, and they were older, way older than me. And I was like, they're not gonna listen to me. They're gonna be like, this little girl, what you got to say? But God will move. You know what I'm saying? Like when people see, and as I said with you, when they see that genuineness and that willingness to help and to serve, they are going to be listening. They're going to pay attention. And from what you're doing, when you get to reach multiple generations, you are allowing that generation that led to transition their mind as well, so that they are more open about like even talking to their kids, and then you talking to your kids, and everybody's still growing and excelling. I absolutely love that. So when I see it, and I'm like, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So before we go, because I don't want to keep people too long while they're on their lunch break. Before we go, tell us a little bit about how people can get um, involved with your program, and how they can get in touch with you.
Well, you can reach me at terracatina.com. That is the easy way. That's terracatina.com. And you can schedule a free dialogue and discussion, and we can go from there. But I am on my Facebook Lives. That's Terra Katina. And my IG is I am Terra Katina. So I kept everything the same. Everything is Terra Katina for you to reach out and contact me. And I just look forward to talking to you so we can set up some goals and set up some plans and just get to that happier life, right? We want to be emotionally healthy. So reach out to me. I'm ready.
So, what time on Friday should we be tuning in?
I'm at 8:30 a.m. on Fridays, EST, Eastern Time.
All right, because we are going to be universal. I have to get on my clients about this all the time. We are global, so let's make sure we tell these time zones. Our clients are in different time zones.
Yes,
So she
yes,
said 8:30 a.m. Catch her on Facebook Live, and if you are on my page, I will show you guys. I'll share her video so that you can go ahead and connect with her too. And before we go, is there something that you would like to just leave with us?
I just want you guys to put as much effort into your emotional health as you do your scheduled time at the gym, and as you do your meal prep that you do. Make it just as important as all these other things that you schedule, because it affects every aspect of your life. We need to be emotionally healthy, and we need to pass it down to the next generation.
Yes, yes, I absolutely love it. Thank you, Tara, for coming today.
Thank
I
you, guys.
cannot wait to see the next Friday and to see more lives and more videos with you, girl, because this is an amazing thing that you're doing. This is something that is absolutely needed, especially right now, like right now. So I am super excited about everything you're doing. Continue to let God use you, girl. Continue to be your amazing, joyful self. And we will see you guys. Well, not we, because Tara unfortunately won't be on the next one, but she will be on next Friday on her page, Terra Cartina, and then I will be back for behind the highlight reels in 2 weeks with Angela. She is amazing. So I'll be talking to you guys shortly about that. All right. And guys, we thank you for joining Behind the Highlight Reels. We will see you guys later. Bye.